So I will say we have the incredible schus today. Incredible schus. Where did this ends? Where at the end of the parak, right? At the end of the parak. Yeah, at the end of the parak. All right, I will say. So we are in Mirat Hashem. We have the incredible schus today to be able to finish up Perek Chav Beis of Mesillas Yesharim. So we'll see we are finishing up the Midas Ha'anava, the Midah of humility. Good. We're running perfect timing. Perfect timing. Right? Chelek Haravi. Chelek Haravi.
The whole shorish, learn out the headquarters. Anochi Afavecha. Complete bittul. So again, to be able to learn a little bit this whole midah.
Incredible. 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 Mitzvah of being in proximity, Tam Avinu Halavai, we should be zocher to internalize all of the Ramchal's words of Anova. I will say the final part of this chapter. Achelek Haravi. I will say, remember again, this is the fourth part of actional humility. Fourth part of actional humility. Achelek Haravi, who chiluk hakavod l'chol adam. Also, this is so beautiful. The ability to give kavod to every single person. Giving kavod to every person. V'chein shaninu ezu mechubad. Who is a person who is honored? Who is a person who is honored? HaMechabed es habriyos. A person who goes in and gives honor to other people. V'amru od. Minayin hayodeh bechavero shugadol meno afilu b'davar echad shechayiv linod bo kavod. I will say ultimately again. So what is it? What is humility? How does humility express itself? By a willingness to give kavod to someone else. You see, at the end of the day, if I'm willing to give kavod to someone else, then halacha l'maisa, that shows that what? That I don't believe that I'm the be-all, end-all of the entire world. So ultimately, again, and even if you know, the ability to go ahead and give kavod to someone, even if they're only greater than you in one particular area, that's ultimately a sign of anova as well. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Let's listen to this. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. We'll say we were not far from him. We didn't get to go to. We were not far from him. We were in the north. We'll say Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai saved us in the aftermath of the Churban Bayesheni. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was the one who was metaking everything. Zecher leMikdash, Zecher leChurban. He is the one. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai taught us how to mourn for that which we have lost, while at the same time yearning and pining for that which will be. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, shelo hiktim lo adam shalom me'olam. No one ever greeted Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai first. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was always the first person. Everybody say he was Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. He could have easily said what? He could have easily said, you know what? They'll come say shalom aleichem to me. But that was not his midah. Va'afilu gai b'shuk, even a Gentile in the marketplace. Obein b'dibur bein b'maisim chayiv linhog kavod b'chavir. I will say, a person is obligated to act with derech eretz towards his fellow person. Ukvar sipru zichron levracha me'esim va'arba elef talmidei Rabbi Akiva shemesu. I will say, by the way, how much more meaning does just saying Rabbi Akiva's name even have to you now? That we were just zocha to daven by his kever, just when we were there, a week and a half ago? What was that, a week ago? Oh, Tuesday. When was Tuesday? What's today? Sunday? Right? So it's incredible. It's 2 days ago. I was like, right? We just davened by Rabbi Akiva. So ultimately, again, we know this of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva's 24,000 students died. Why? Al shaloha yunogin kavod zelazeh. I will say, at the end of the day, however you want to teach that, however you want to explain it, at the end of the day, it was a lack of kavod for each other. Whatever it meant, it means that there wasn't proper derech eretz between one Jew and another. Ukmosha bizayon, who davar misyaches al rishaim, and just like I will say, bizayon, degradation is something that ultimately is associated with the rishaim. Kidvar hakosuf shezacharnu bevo rasha gam buz kena kavod misyaches al tzadikim. Kavod ultimately again is misyaches to tzadikim. Ki hakavod shoch in imayim veinu misparish mehem. Va'omer v'neged zekin of kavod v'arin disparu chelkei anav harashim. So we'll say now that Ramchal says we have explained all of the major pieces of humility. Uprateyem b'chol pratei aminim ha'misrachlim v'holchim lefi anosim ulefi ha'itim v'amakomos yishma chacham v'yosef lakach. And I will say, if you notice, the Ramchal says almost something very similar at the end of every chapter. Ramchal essentially says, I can't tell you everything about every single midah. I can't spell it all out. All I could do is I could give you the Rashi Prakim. I could give you the general outline for success in each of these midos. But then, You have to take the information and do something with it. You have to take the information ultimately again, and then go ahead and make something happen with it. I will say it's very important. See, you know what Ramchal is saying? Ramchal is saying is at the end of the day, no one could allow for your self-actualization except you. Except you. The Ramchal says, I could give you as much information as I could give you. But at the end of the day, you have to take what I gave you, Ramchal says, and then you have to go figure it out. Then you have to go do something with it. Rabbi says, finish the parak. In general, Rabbi says, humility removes many obstacles from the pathway of a person. Now, Rabbi say, why is that? It's fascinating. Why does humility remove many obstacles from a pathway? Rabbi says, it's a very simple cheshbon. Because do you know what puts the greatest number of obstacles in your way? Gaiva. So I will say, so anova is the antithesis of gaiva. Most of the mistakes we make in life, we make because of gaiva. We make because of arrogance. Most of the averos we commit in life, we commit because of gaiva. So if I have anova, if I have humility, humility is the antidote, the antithesis, ultimately of gaiva. So therefore, when I have anova, I remove so many michsholos. I remove so many obstacles, ultimately again from my way. Ki ha'anav yachush ma'at al divrei olam. First of all, the humble person, right, is not so worried about things of this world. And in general, again, he doesn't get jealous over nothing. I will say, an anav knows how to keep good friends. Keeps good friends. And we'll say the anav, people like the anav. People like the humble individual. He's not going to get angry. And therefore, again, he's not going to get into fights. You know, both say the anav, it sounds so beautiful. The anav leads a good and tranquil life. The anav, like Rav Simcha said before, Avinu anava, the Avraham zakein ba bayamim. Bayam, the Netziv says, what does it mean, ba bayamim? Bayamim means, again, he found meaning in every stage of life. Life was good, he had beautiful, again, obviously not without its difficulties and vicissitudes. But that's what it means to be ba bayam. Be bayam means you find meaning, right? Life goes well, you actualize, you accomplish. When you have that midah of anava, you have that midah, hakol b'hashket, I want to be clear, hakol b'hashket doesn't mean that your life is easy. That your life is easy. Hashket means a certain level of inner tranquility. When you have anava, you have inner tranquility. For the simple reason, when you have anava, you also have kirvas halakim. You have closeness to Hashem. When you have closeness to Hashem, you have inner tranquility. Hakol b'menucha. We'll say, no, who doesn't want this? Who doesn't want hakol b'menucha? Everything is tranquil. Again, I will say, Ramchal is not saying life is easy. No one makes any guarantees for an easy life. But hashket menucha means when you have anava, when you have humility, you have inner tranquility. Ashrei mi shazocha lemidazu. Praiseworthy is the person who has this midah. Ukvar amru zichron livracha masha asta chachma atara l'rasha asta anava akev l'suyasa. Rabbi said this is actually an incredible statement because of the Yerushalmi. That which chachma, that which wisdom made as a crown for the head, so humility made as a soul, as a sole for the shoe, a sole for the foot. I'll say, what's the pshat? So it's interesting. In the Perush I have over in my Mesillas Yesharim, he says that what it means is like this. Chachma tells you that certain things are important in this world. Anava takes the things that Chachma says are important and what? Takes them from the top, the head, and puts them by the sole of the shoe. What Anava says essentially is so many things that we get upset about, so many things that we get carried away about, so many things that we get angry about, they're not important. You know what Chachma often says? Chachma says, you have to be right. Chachma says, it has to be your way. Chachma says, right, it's like me. Chachma says, ani gever. Chachma ultimately, again, could lead to gaiva. We even saw Chachma could lead to gaiva. So Chachma sometimes creates this flawed hierarchy. Anava says, all of those things that Chachma relegates to the highest level of importance, ultimately Anava says, not so important. Not so important. I will say, don't you feel this when we come to a place like this? We're standing here. We're supposed to say, like, are you taking it in that we're sitting here learning Torah? I know we're a little bit tired. I know. I'm only awake because I'm giving the shiur. I'm going to be totally honest. Right? If I was there, I would be spread out on the bima by now. Right? I'll say, so again, I just want to point out, like, doesn't this give you a sense of anava? Doesn't it? I come in here like I'm all this, I'm all that. I get angry. I got this. I have this. This one got upset me. This, and I come here, and I stand before my parents. And I'm humbled. And I'm humbled because I see the Mesiras Nefesh of Leah Imenu, the first person to give true Hodah to Hashem. I stand in front of Yaakov Avinu, the first person to truly worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Galus. How much we could relate to Yaakov Avinu. We'll go to Avram and Sarah. Avram Avinu again, when the whole world was on the other side, Me'ever, Avram Avinu was the one who was willing to take a stand. Everyone thought he was a nut. He was willing to take a stand. Sarah Imenu, so committed to the vision of Klal Yisrael that she was willing to give up her husband. She was willing to give up her husband to her life. That's how committed she was to something. Yitzchak Avinu, a willingness to offer him up as an olah, a willingness to put himself literally on the Mizbeach of Hashem. And they come here, and I want to say, you know what you feel? You know what that feeling is when you come here? It's anava. I'm humbled to be in the presence of my parents. And the most important thing is, I need to take the anava with me when I leave. Because it's easy to walk out of this sacred place. I say, sometimes the most incredible moments of Aliyah could be undone by a good breakfast, which we're going to have in just a moment. That's lunch. It's lunch already, sorry. Right? I was also say, the greatest moments of Aliyah, they come and they go. You got to take it, and you somehow have to bottle it for yourself. That feeling that you're feeling right now, that tranquility, that menucha, that's not fatigue. You think it's fatigue. That's physically. What your neshama is feeling right now, that menuchas hanefesh, that hashket, that's the humility that comes from being in the presence of our parents. And if we could just take that with us throughout life, take that humility, take that tranquility, how good life would be. Ki kala chachma kul lo yarchena. Says Ramchal, v'zeh baror. The best two words to end the parak with. This is explicitly clear. This is explicitly clear. And I both say, it is clear. The clarity of everything that Ramchal teaches us, the clarity is never in doubt. What's the challenge? The challenge is the actualization. Rabbi say, Mazel Tov on finishing Parachaf Beis. A shkoyach to everyone, shkoyach to Moshe for the beautiful shachris, shkoyach to everyone for the beautiful limud chevra. Here's what we're going to do. It's 11:45. It's 11:45. Let's meet by the entranceway of the Ma'ara in 10 minutes at 11:55. Everyone go daven 11:55. We'll walk down in Meretz Hashem for breakfast together. Shkoyach, everyone. Shkoyach.
It just died in the middle, so I just shut it off. No. I knew the camera's running on a battery. It's not